Trump is facing new allegations of racism after a former employee of his claims that he was forced to leave the hotel that he was working at because he was black when Donald Trump and his wife would visit. Now, this is according to an article published in the New Yorker by journalist Nick Baumgarten. And apparently he spoke to a man by the name of Kip Brown who worked at one of Donald Trump's casinos. According to Baumgarten, Brown also used to work in the casinos, at the Showboat, bussing tables, and at Trump's castle, stripping and waxing floors. When Donald and Ivana came to the casino, the bosses would order all the black people off the floor. It was in the 80s. I was a teenager, but I remember it. And he also says they put us all in the back.
Go on and be entertained by your reality shows and play that video game online and get displaced through gentrification, Donald Trump, and key Tea Party members. The socio-political and economic discriminating inertia that's so embedded within rich fascist political culture, creating the exploiting equal housing opportunity vultures, real estate moguls, developers, and city planners, zoning laws, provisions, and clause, setting boundaries that's really not for all. Finding ways through a downfall to earn a profit, urban renewal benefit, the real reason a real estate tycoon would ever run for president. The ideological move that Obama's administration equals crime running amok and big city developments across this nation. Just proof of rich fascist white privilege ignorance our country's facing. Acceleration and gentrification, generational genocide like Barclays Bank, using Jay-Z's celebrity to subliminally raise excitement to displace and disenfranchise. Old sediments becoming newfound settlements, taking advantage of collapsed cities and their housing markets. Just watch how the great investments of tomorrow become urban environments in Wall Street's back pockets. Amendable to affluent professionals, investing individuals, low-life treasonous politicians whose career lives less for constituents and more for residuals. All along, working from a distance for assistance and the great displacement of urban citizens. Upon leaving office, black neighborhoods is where Barack plans to put his focus in. Obama's My Brother's Keeper, programming blacks into submission, subordinate position, the great urban displacement conditioning, the possibility of increasing employment and education, making the situation less threatening to forge urban culture into suburban living. Racially mixed regions, experiencing large-scale migration. Even though they say they're for integration, it won't be long until we see white flight segregation. What may seem to be politically correct, America has always had a hard time making it a natural fact, trying to disguise the issue as those with children versus those that single living, suburbs for families and big cities for single living. Rapid growth of growing young minority families, diversity explosion. It's only a matter of time. We'll see the distinctive division of social race mixing.
And we wish that more of the negatives wouldn't be there without it having to be gentrification. You see what I'm saying? Just like you said, how come before white people got in the neighborhood, our sisters couldn't push no strollers down the street 3 o'clock in the morning? You'd be terrified to do that. Right. You'd feel like that was idiotic. But now, it's easy. White people are doing it like it's no problem, and they feel safe because the police presence has been, you know, there's more care for the community now by the police and all that. Just like you said, garbage is getting picked up and all this stuff. Now you care.
Well, you know, I mean, with higher property prices, you have higher property taxes, and then with more property taxes, you have more money for police and garbage and stuff.
Well,
that's kind of.
I mean, you can say that.
Kind of how it works.
You can say that, and you can also say where there's more money, there's more care for the people. And where there's less money, we don't care for the people. You see what I'm saying? Like, the money's there. Even in the community, if they want to find that money, trust me, they can allocate money in all kinds of proper ways.
Do it every day.
Listen, that money's not there for a reason. And it gets there for a reason when certain people come to the neighborhood.
What's good for the country, but ultimately ultimately what's good for the country is to get a new president, because we have a president now that has made this country the laughing stock of the world. Right now, if he ran, you'd beat him. Anybody would beat him, because this has been such a mess and it's been so bad for him. It shows he's not so great. Okay? So anybody would beat him. If this happened again, but you have a very short memory. I mean, people have a short memory. Everybody has a short memory. You go to Saudi Arabia, you go to China, you go to Abu Dhabi, you want to see airports, you want to see structures, you want to see roads. It's unbelievable. They're paved in gold. Then you go to LaGuardia Airport. It's like from a third world country. You go to Kennedy Airport. You go to Newark Airport.
But how did that
happen? You go to Los Angeles. You go to LAX.
How did that happen? And that predates even President Obama. I mean, that predates President Obama.
It does. We've had bad leadership. Hey, look, was I ever a big fan of Bush? I wasn't, okay? The fact is we've had horrible leadership, but right now we have probably the worst leader we've ever had, especially when it comes to rebuilding our once great country. We're not a great country anymore. Everyone's talking about investment. The other day I had somebody up, here's where you should invest. Where? China. India. I said, what about the United States? I want to invest. Well, that's much love. Invest in China. Invest in India. Invest in every country but our country. Now, these are Wall Street geniuses, and they say, put your money here, but they don't want to invest their money in this country.
How about Steve
They have no confidence in this country. We're laughed at.
forbetterconditions-org.webs.com. Support the cause. The true revolution has only just begun.